Bi Ruth, una muda wa dakika 2 kuanzia sasa kutueleza mbona unatosha kuwa makamu wa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya.
Asante sana Zubeda. Nashukuru the media council that you have given us the chance to sell our manifesto and tell the Kenyans what we have for you. I am Ruth Wamboi Musheru. I am a daughter. I am a wife to one Mr. Mutua. I am a mother, and I'm here before you to tell you what Agano is coming to change and the required change that all Kenyans have been waiting for. And to ensure that whatever you desire and whatever you want to achieve, Agano gives you. And what our policy is that we bring the money back. Agano inarudisha pesa ya Wakenya.
Madam Ruth, similar 2 minutes to respond to this question. Your understanding of the role of Deputy President, yes, and how would you execute that function of Deputy President if elected in about 20 days?
We know that Deputy President is the second highest political seat. So my business is to assist the President. My business is to sit in while the President goes out on duty. My business is to ensure that this country runs as long as the President has given me the mandate to do so. So Kenyans will not have the gap. And for me to have been picked as the lady of Agano Party, I am coming in to bring a balance. I am coming in to bring a change and decision-making on the woman level and the youth level.
Madam, kidogo samahani, una dakika 1:30, bado na dakika 20, sekunde 20, bado una la kuongeza au umekamilisha?
Makamu wa rais huwa anasaidia rais mwenyewe, huwa anasaidia kutekeleza majibu ile, the work that has been given to her in the presidential aspect. So my business is to assist. My business is to play the part of assisting and implementing what the captain and the 5th Mwaure David has stipulated.
Na hapo basi ndo
Ruth, what is your voice then? What, arguably in the political sphere, somebody would ask you, what do you bring to the table? So what do you bring to the table in terms of capacity, in terms of the understanding of this role, in terms of your ability to execute the functions of Deputy President, if Kenyans give you the nod in about 20 days in this election?
Okay, what I'm bringing in, one is the difference in leadership. That now, for the first time, to make history, is that we will have a lady Deputy President. That for me is a key factor. I am coming in with intelligence, with my intelligence. I am coming in corruption-free. I am coming in as a trustworthy person. I am coming in to bring the development agenda that has been left out of the woman and the youth.
What's scared in any way? Anakutisha Ruth? Anakutisha Justina?
Not at all, not at all. Tuko hapa kuleta mabadiliko ile Wakenya wanatarajia. So we are coming in to bring the change. Hii ni uongozi mpya. We are not frightened with the fact that there is tyranny of numbers. Those are numbers. But the actual fact is, Wakenya wamechoka. Tumekuja kuleta mabadiliko ile wamekuwa wakingojea.
Madam Ruth, 30 more seconds. Where are those numbers? Unasema, you also have your numbers. Where are those numbers?
The numbers are there, Francis. You know, as the 5th Mwaure Wahiga said, some of these research institutes have been sponsored. So what they are doing to us and the Kenyans is reverse psychology. So that means they're trying to say the tyranny of numbers has an upper hand. Lakini ninataka kueleza kuna mabadiliko na Agano iko site watu wakate simu.
Ruth, where do you get the impression that they are being sponsored by anyone?
Clearly, wanakata kutupatia even our own marks. In school, even the student who has 0 huwa anarudishiwa karatasi yake na scorecard. Lakini sasa our research institutes wamekuwa sponsored, wanatoa huyu mtoto mmoja, which I seriously think that ni kupunguza wanapunguza namba zetu. Probably we could be a threat because Kenyans are tired. They want new leadership.
Bi Ruth, labda kuambatanisha na hilo, mmeonekana kutoridhika sana na yale ambayo yanaendeshwa na Ruth's Party. Mna wasiwasi eti kwamba wanakuja kuharibu vijana, kwa nini?
Tuseme ukweli. marijuana, bangi, we say it is illegal. Sasa hii sera wanakuja kuuza, tunangoja kusikia venye wataweza kutuzia sisi wenyewe, and already it is an illegal substance. So how do we work around such manifestos? So maybe Justina will let us know further how far they can go with marijuana. I will give an example of kijana moja alikuwa nafanya kazi some place that I lived back then. Alikuwa nafieka nyasi at 11 p.m. Na nikaenda nikamuuliza. So I asked him the following morning because I had the noise from outside. Nikamuuliza what happened. Okay, I had heard the history that anavuta bangi. So I asked him in the morning, kwa nini ulikuwa unafieka nyasi saa 5 za usiku? Akaniambia, madam, nilikuwa napunguza kazi ya leo. So realistically, kama unapunguza kazi ya leo kufieka nyasi 11 p.m., I think kuna shida na tunaweza kuwa tunaelekea in the wrong direction.
So when you go hata venye professor anasema itapandwa kwa expressway and you pick a leaf and chew, it's only going to give a detox, let me tell you. And saiji watu wako na simu zao. Can you Google hemp seed sales in Kenya? Those products are in sale because zinakupatia immunity, zinakupatia omega 3. Unaona, it boosts your immunity. Those products are on sale and they do not have the psychoactive ingredient yenye inafanya watu wana lose focus. That is the bang you're advocating for. And industrial hemp is used in 9 sectors, namely textile, construction, magari, makeup. Unaona hii makeup tumejipaka. The options, food and beverage, the options are many. So we are not here. And let me tell you, Kenyans, consumption ama kuvuta ni kitu kidogo sana.
Ruth, unamwamini?
Simwamini. Ya kwanza amesema ni ya kupurify. I don't know what we are purifying with bang. I don't know what part we are purifying. Kwa hivyo ningetaka aweze kutuelezea kama ni damu tunaosha, kwa sababu kama ina purify na ni dawa, si tuapishwe 10th alafu 11th hospitali zifungwe kwa sababu ni dawa. Let us hear, how does it purify? I would wish to know.
Nimjibu, Ruth, purifying, si ati detox, kuna difference. Nimesema purify, si detox. Kwa hivyo una need dawa ndio. And most medicine is made out of marijuana. Those medicine for epilepsy, cerebral palsy, pains, easy pains, watu wanakuanga chronic pains. So medicine inatengenezwa from marijuana. So already you're consuming. But nimesema purification process. Purification process, angalia, purification process ni, we have a challenge in this country. Mainly corruption. 2 billion is lost every day. We were told that. But you know corruption stems from what? Scarcity mentality. There are no other options in this country to make money. So everyone wants to go into politics where the salaries are lucrative. So your scarcity mentality, unaingia, you amass for yourself. So we are going to be purifying the scarcity mentality and the bad impact of corruption, colonialism, tribalism. Hizo vitu ni spiritual and we are going to purify them. Ndio ziishe kwa hii nchi.
Madam Ruth, I can see disbelief all over your face.
I still do not agree to all this theory. Na niposa naambia wa Kenya, kateni simu, Agano iko side. This is not practical. The law tells us clearly that it is illegal to have bang. So how else, na amesema, na yeye mwenyewe alisema ama amesema sahi, that they will smoke bang on the 10th. I'm looking for a happy mother. A happy mother. I am a mother.
Ruth,
I'm looking for a happy mother
CBD,
that will,
CBD.
no, I am looking, allow me to answer. I'm looking for a happy mother who will attest that mtoto wake amevuta bangi and they are okay. Yeye mwenyewe pia najua ni mama. Nataka kujua, atakubali mtoto wake avute bangi on that 10th. Because for me, I don't think I would allow my children to take it up, nor my sisters and brothers.
Good question. And I'm going to answer this question to you and Kenyans as Mama Wambui. I said open up your minds, dear Kenyans. The marijuana we're advocating for is industrial hemp. I think I gave the clarification, not THC. So Ruth, stop belaboring this idea that we are smoking. It is not for consumption. And is it smoking? It is for purification. You can even put it in those things, you know, you nature mamali, inatoa scent. So it's not smoking, it's purification. There's a difference. And it's true, Ruth.
Okay.
Mothers are suffering. Let me say this. I don't want to come off like I don't relate. I have seen mothers are suffering. And that is why Ruth's party has said, anyone who attempts to grow cannabis sativa, we are growing CBD or cannabis.
Ruth, kidogo kuambatana na kile ambacho wamesema, unadhani uchumi wa Kenya haujaimarika kwa sababu hatujahalalisha bangi? Wakenya wanaumia kutokana na gharama ya maisha kwa sababu hatujahalalisha bangi?
Hapana, sikubaliani na hiyo. Uchumi umezoroteka kwa sababu ya corruption. And that is why Kenyans, we are coming in to bring in a new leadership, a new change in how things run in this country, and give Agano Party, Mwaure Waihiga, the chance to come and be the president of this country. Corruption has eaten us up. In every corner of each sector, corruption has eaten us up. It's not that we do not have bangi, lakini corruption imetukula sisi wenyewe. We have eaten ourselves up. And a few of us know ourselves. So we are going to deal with that.
Let me add something quickly. Okay, when you look at private businesses, they look at what is our competitive edge. How can we be ahead of our competitors? So not that uchumi imeharibika because of no legalization of bangi. Of course, I agree with Ruth, corruption should be blamed. But look at this situation, that if private businesses are looking into the future, why is government scared to look into the future? And the future is legalization of industrial hemp or marijuana. So our idea as Roots Party is to run a profitable government, devoid from increasing taxes from Kenyans, from getting further debt, but we are going to look for our own money. Our own money will come from legalizing and regulation of marijuana. Case in time, a pilot study will be Kulalu Galana, the 1 million acre project. Iyo equal 1 million, that is times 5 of what China got in 2021. So we'll have $6 billion USD. You can do the math in Kenyan shillings. That money is money that will be used to pay teachers, pay the civil service, increase their salaries in trenches. So for us, tunaangalia competitive edge, what private businesses do.
Niulize Justina swali kidogo. Kuna kuanga na employee incentives. Ukifanya kazi kwa bakery, huwa wakati mwingine unapatiwa mkate uende nayo nyumbani. Na je, bangi wataenda nyumbani na nini?
Wataenda nyumbani na, very good question. Wataenda nyumbani na proceeds of bangi. And it's good you brought me to this idea. The youth in this country, not all of them want to be employed. But hawa vijana wanatafuta capital. Unaenda bank unaitishwa logbook, title deed. Kweli, you don't have. What we are going to do with Roots Party, I told you government owns 10% of 144 million acres. In every county, government land will give 200,000 acres to our youth. We'll have a thing like the Yali project, which we are calling Roots Entrepreneurship Initiative. Tunafanya competition, tunachukua 50,000 youth. Kwa hiyo mradi ya 200,000 acres. Na ujue bangi grows in 4 months. So akishauza hiyo bangi yake, hiyo proceeds, 2.8 million according to hesabu za China, youth atakuwa na capital, seed capital ama capital to boost their business. So you won't take home bangi, Ruth. You'll take home capital for investment.
But ni illegal, lakini bado watu wanavuta. I don't know how we will deal with those incentives.
So those are the challenges in this country. In fact, you should ask the ones who are in government now. Why is it illegal and Kenyans are smoking? That's the question to them.
Kwa hivyo Ruth, kwako wewe ni kuhalalisha kutohalalisha bangi au ni swala la maadili?
Kutohalalisha, the constitution does not allow.
Lakini unaona kwamba inahujumu maadili?
Sorry?
Inahujumu maadili au haswa tatizo lenu kama Agano Party ni kwamba bangi ni mbaya, haistahili kuhalalishwa au ni swala la maadili?
Ni maswala ya maadili na si Agano Party, ni wa Kenya. Kama it is already legal, it is currently illegal. So how safe is it? How safe is it when we start taking it up? That means we are destroying a whole generation. We're destroying our children. I am concerned as a Kenyan.
So you're being unfair to Ruth. You know Ruth cannot support our manifesto. So it's true atasema ni mbaya. But mimi nimeexplain Kenya.
Let me give you some 60 more seconds, Ruth.
Yes.
Is it a question of faith and values that drives your opposition to the Roots Party's manifesto and proposal to engage in marijuana farming?
It is more values. It is more value and faith too, yes. It is more values and faith too. Because I'm trying to look at, right now, currently what is happening in Kenya right now. Nirudie statement. It is illegal. Lakini watoto wamejaa madhare. Wamama wanalia pale nje. So I'm wondering, how many are smiling? How many are going to smile? How many are educated out there to know that hii ni biashara, mtoto hafai kuvuta? Children are idle out there.
watajaribu kuvuta kidogo, and you know the consequence is going to be what we all know. Watoto
outlined our
tunapoteza
control
ufahamu,
measures.
tunapoteza future.
Madam Ruth, same question to you. This is it's a political competition. You're not in the race alone.
Yes.
What would you use to convince the Kenyan voters, to elect you as the next deputy president and not your competitors, Rigathi Gachagua, Martha Karua, and in this case, Justina Wamai? Let's first talk about the other two who are not in this debate.
Yeah, at least for Justina, we have probably a lot in common because we are new, we are fresh. But our competitors, yes, they have experience, but they have let us down. I have voted for the last 2 decades. I have chosen the same leaders. So I don't see what difference they are coming to bring in, because I feel like some of them are sanitizing the leaders who have been there. We want new blood, we want fresh blood, fresh ideas, so that we gear this country to a different direction.
What is this new idea, fresh idea? What does it constitute?
Corruption. Our big agenda is corruption. It has eaten us in big ways and in every way. So corruption is our bangi. So that is what we are after. Then the rest will be able to be balanced out.
Ruth, haswa kwa sababu umetaja maadili, umetaja ufisadi. Kwa kuwe unaelewa vipi sura ya 6 ya katiba? Maadili haswa kulingana nawe ni nini kwa dakika 2?
Arudia, sorry?
Maadili, integrity, kwa
Yes.
maoni yako ni nini haswa? Unaielewa vipi?
Maadili kwangu na kwa Agano Party is the intention to be transparent, is the intention to be trustworthy, and intention to be trustworthy to the Kenyans who have employed you. Kwa hivyo pale mimi naona the integrity has been compromised with the current and the past government and our competitors. Kwa hivyo tunaomba Wakenya waweze kutupatia nafasi. Kwa kuwa sisi ndio we are ready to be audited. We are clean. So why not give us the chance? We are not threatened by the other pair of competitors because they have been in it. Kenyans have seen. Kenyans know. This is nothing new to us. Ni kubadilisha tu, tunahitaji kubadilisha. And Agano Party is coming in as the option ya kubadilisha.
Na kwa nini mnaamini kama Agano Party kwamba Agano Party ndio inakuza maadili na sio Roots Party? Mbona mnaona wao ndio wanahujumu maadili?
Maadili hapo ni personal. If I got your question right. Integrity is very personal. For me and the fifth, Maure Wahiga, he's entitled to audit. I'm entitled to audit. Ndiposa tunaweza kusimama mbele ya Wakenya kuambia, they trust us with this job. We have nothing to hide. We have no worry on what we need to do. Pale corruption tumesema lazima tutamalizana nayo. Pesa ile iko nje. I believe this is the only party and the governance that is going to bring Kenya back its money. Ile pesa imefichwa pale nje. The development money that has been kept out, that is over 10 trillion. Inaweza lipa deni ya Wakenya in one single day. Zubeda, one single day.
Ruth, you've been in this country in the last 12 years.
Yes.
And you
Since
understand.
I was born.
Yes, and you understand Chapter 6 of the Constitution. When you look at it, what do you think has been the major impediment in the implementation of the leadership and integrity chapter of the Constitution?
That is lack of will. We have leaders that are not willing to change for this country. So just as much it's going to cost us, just as much I'd wish to tell Kenyans that without very big words, if we don't decide to change the leadership of this country, it will cost us another 5-10 decades. So integrity is paramount to us as Agano Party. We are the clean. We are the only option for Kenyan citizens. Tafadhali mtupatie kura. Tutakuja kuleta mabadiliko.
Give us practical examples of how you will deal with corruption and implementation of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, because there is the saying,
Yes.
and there is the doing.
Agano Party has a covenant with Kenyans to abide to the constitutional law. And we say, if you do not follow the law will follow you. For us, nobody is above the law. If you have been in corruption, you will face the law. We are not hanging anybody.
Na umenielekeza mahali ambapo nilitaka kuelekeza wewe binafsi. Unadhani tutaweza kukabili ufisadi kwa kuwanyonga wale ambao ni watuhumiwa wa ufisadi?
Agano Party governance yetu si ya kunyonga, lakini tunaweza, we are able to deal with it in an amicable way following the law. I don't think even kunyonga is in the constitution. So that means the one wana breach kuvuta bangi na the next wana breach kunyonga watu.
Recall the assets na pia waende wakanyongwe.
Ruth,
sijui kama wote watakubali, because if I know I'm being hanged, so why should I tell you mali iko?
There is a process. There is a judicial process.
Maybe the first two might be caught with the process ya rudisha mali alafu tunanyonga. But someone else will think, kama unataka kuninyonga, finish me, wacha wengine wakulie hiyo pesa.
Okay,
so I don't think I would justify that. But for us, we are saying the corrupt, we will go even for the big fish. Sisi hatuogopi, tunataka pesa irudishwe, ndio imeweza kuumiza economy ya hii country. We have, our president is planning to give a moratorium where the Kenyans who have stolen our money, wameficha development money, warudishe, wanapatiwa nafasi ya kurudisha. Hapo bale mtu anapitisha ile wakati umewekwa, so from there, the law takes its course.
In 2002 there was such. Why has it not worked? Maybe in your opinion, I'm not saying because you're not in government, yes. Ruth, but you need to show Kenyans that you understand. So, it was there in 2002. What in your opinion is, what is the reason why it didn't work out? The idea that you're sharing, in your opinion?
Leadership problems. Leadership problems, Justina. We are different leaders here.
Ruth, haswa endapo mtaingia mamlakani, mnawapea Wakenya muda gani waweze kuona matunda katika vita dhidi ya ufisadi, na wewe binafsi mchango wako utakuwa upi katika kuona hilo linatimia kama makamu wa rais?
For us, we will bring in this in phases. Kuna ile pesa iko nje, in the money that is stashed illegally abroad. For that, we can even say we have started even implementing our 100 days. The fifth, Maure Waihiga, already wrote a letter to the UN and 15 other countries to start processing our money back. That means, tuna uhakika, by the time we are getting in, kuna wezekano pesa iko imefika, and if not, tunataka kukata hii mfereji. The report that the incumbent president gave out, 2 billion. We actually think it probably could be 5 billion that we are losing a day, including today and until the 9th of August. So for us, tukiingia pale ndani, tunataka kukata hiyo mfereji ya corruption like instantly, so that we also have working capital to jumpstart the economy.
Na umetaja pale shilingi bilioni 5. Haswa kwa sababu umerejelea mara kadhaa pesa ziko nje. Yes. Ni pesa ngapi ambazo mnazizungumzia sasa hivi na mtazirejesha vipi haswa? Mmeweza kupiga hesabu mkajua ni ngapi na ziko wapi?
Ni zaidi ya trilioni 10. Na ndiposa nilisema pale awali, it is possible for us to clear our debt in a day. It is more than 10 trillion that is out there. This is development money. And that is why tumekasirika, tunataka kuleta hiyo pesa irudi Kenya. Tunaweza kosa kuleta na the first 100 days, lakini wa Kenya, we are committed to bring this money back. And in 2017-2018, budget ikisomwa, the Henry Rotich, he's on clip, he's on record, akisema there is money outside. Hiyo hatuna confirmation that pesa ilirudi. It has only been accumulating over a time. Na by the time we were getting into this candidature, it was over 10 trillion that is outside there.
One thing I'm happy about, sababu Ruth and I agree that corruption in affect wa Kenya sana. Lakini mikakati zao are not practical. They lack the how question. How are you going to do it? Utanishurutisha aje pesa yangu iko huko Swiss account to return it? How are you going to force me? Kwa hivyo, the idea is good, but it's just an idea. It lacks practicality.
Moratorium. Tumesema tunapatiana moratorium. You know you have money outside there. We give you time to repent. Sisi Agano tunapatiana time to repent.
You won't force
kurudisha pesa. And remember, we have external and internal. Kwa hivyo pia hapa ndani, that's what I'm trying to say. We have already commenced the process ya kurudisha ile pesa iko nje. Hapa ndani, the local individuals, we will give them the chance to return. So that if they don't do that, sasa the law takes its course.
Hapo, in another 30 seconds, Ruth. Yes. When you say pesa ziko nje, give us specifics. Let me give you a minute actually. When you say pesa ziko huko nje. Do you have the specifics? This amount of money is in this country, this amount of money is in another country, and is taken there by so and so. Do you have the specifics?
I may not be having the specifics, but we know the big fish that is having money out there. So, yes. Maybe niongezee ni kusema, we are not saying we will not forgive anyone. Ukisema utarudisha pesa yetu, we have no reason, we do not have any reason ya kukupeleka ahead na kukuingiza ndani. We just want Kenyans to bring back development money. Sijui venye wao wata jumpstart economy, but that is a long-term strategy for us. Pesa irudishwe ndani. Tunapokata mfereji na inapoteza pesa 2 to almost 5 billion a day. Tutapata nafasi ya kuweza kutengeneza our economy without having unnecessarily borrow more money out there. Kwa sababu nikisikia venye anasema, then that means wataongeza loan ile tuko nayo sahi.
Ruth, let me now introduce a discussion on the cost of living.
Yes.
And I want to give you 2 minutes to tell us, in your understanding, what is the driver of this rising cost of living? And if elected president, let's say in the first 100 days, what would be the Agano proposals to reduce the cost of living?
I agree to what you're saying, and I think the 100 days for us, we will repeat that our agenda is corruption. Cost of living has been affected by corruption widely. And if we deal with corruption, I think Kenyans will smile back at us. And the first 100 days, one that was implemented yesterday, na ninajua unga haijateremka, 2 weeks ago, on our manifesto, we launched that. We will introduce the subsidy of maize. It was introduced yesterday. Now, Wakenya wameambiwa to wait for 2, 3 to 4 weeks for it to be felt. Jana nimepitia kwa supermarket, bado unga ni 230. So for us, we still have to bring the subsidy for Kenyans to be able to eat, because a hungry nation is an angry nation. For us, we're also planning to implement the pay cutoff of 50%. I know you'll want to ask where the deficit is going to come in. Our repayment period for the loan is 1.3 trillion. And the financial year, the last financial year, KRA reported that the payment that was done through the payee was 461 billion. So if we cut off the payee by 50%, that is 230 billion deficit. If we come and cap the repayment period, the repayment of the 1.3 trillion, kumbuka tutakuwa na ile extra 300, ile tutakuja kusongesha pale kwa payee, so that we are able to run our activities as usual and even have a small surplus of 7 billion to run with. That being amongst them.
That the truth is tumeteseka miaka 30. 1 year tunaweza vumilia, but we are putting in, Kenyans need an honest leader. As it is now, hii maneno ya kusarakasi na siasa is what is getting us here. We are being honest. We are saying, of course, they have put in the nini unga imeshukishwa bei. But sisi tukiangalia the truth, marijuana also gives flour. We can look at alternatives to the challenges. If maize flour is costly, then marijuana flour can cook ugali, can cook chapati. And then cooking oil, the seed produces cooking oil also. So we tunaangalia kama hii ni expensive, we are going to use this. So the alternatives. So mimi naambia Mkenya, hatutawadanganya. Tumedanganywa miaka nenda miaka rudi. We are telling you the truth. Question us after 1 year.
Bi Ruth, unaona Wakenya wavumilie, watumie unga ya marijuana?
Watalala njaa 365 days from the 9th.
But they know the truth.
But they will die. No, let's be frank. Of course, we do not need a list of 10 items. I would almost agree, but we do not need a list of 10 items kufurahisha wa Kenya that we can accomplish all this in 100 days. Tuweke vitu realistic. Mkenya aweza kupata chakula. Yule mama anaangalia watoto peke yake aweze kupata pesa ya kulipa rent, kulipa school fees. But telling Kenyans to wait for 1 year, I think it's a long time.
The truth is,
it's such a long time.
Truth. And someone who's been in government, I know they're laughing at us, but the truth is, government policy is about trade-off. What is working for our country? What is working for our people? So if we come here and say, tutaangusha bei ya mahindi, Farmers walitoka Ushago, they came to Nairobi. There is rural to urban migration, they are border riders. Because farming doesn't have money. It is about us giving the conducive environment for agriculture to thrive. Watu warudi Ushago, they grow the maize, they grow the marijuana, they do the Mira. And actually, we are giving Kenyans an alternative. If you're a Mira farmer, continue doing, no problem. But we need Kenyans to know it's not about the government doing things. We won't lie to you. And that is why leaders or politicians lie to us. It's about telling Kenyans the truth. Here is a trade-off between a very bad situation and a worse situation.
I think I think agriculture has money. Sijui kama hapo tutakubaliana, lakini farmers agriculture has money. I will give an example. My grandmother amekuwa ametegemea majani chai. They have brought up she brought up 8 children. Lakini sai mkulima wa sai analia. So if we restore back our economy, that means hata ule mtu hajasoma ataweza kuongeza pesa kwa mfuko, na tuweze pia kukata hii importation tunaleta ya michele, na kuna project kuna schemes kama za Moya tunaweza patia wakulima nafasi to boost themselves back, na Wakenya waweze kupata chakula ya kukula. Just like even the maize, people are having maize in the granary. Kwa nini tunaleta mahindi kutoka nje? Tupatie nafasi wa Kenya wajijenge. I believe farming has money.
Yes.
Pia ule akona ng'ombe ananunuliwa maziwa 30 shillings lakini inauzwa 60. Half a liter. Wacha tujaribu kubalance out.
Sikusema agriculture doesn't have money.
You said
but
it.
Wait, as it is, the global prices, declining global prices. Sai watu wa Kisii wanasema 1 kg of coffee or tea wananunuliwa 30 shillings farm gate prices. Sugar cane inatoka 4,112 per ton. Say mahindi 3,000. Na say ekelea fertilizer. So the input cost of agriculture as it is so costly that you as a farmer, you're not getting money. Na niongea about maziwa, ata dairy farmer. By the way, hemp produces animal feed. So our tukitengeneza animal feed, which is very costly as it is, ina impede maziwa production. Kutakuwa na so much milk that Roots Party is telling Kenyans, and we are promising Kenyans, kutakuwa na maziwa ya Roots na mayai ya Roots. Because animal feed will be affordable, Kenyans can take milk as they wish. So our purpose is to reduce import costs in agriculture, but agriculture has money.
No, that one I quoted you, Justina, and I think the pricing right now of the food products is because of a leadership issue. It's nothing that the Kenyans cannot produce. Tuko na mchanga, tuko na maadili. We only need to give Kenyans ile nafasi waweze kulisha Wakenya wenzao. Just that. Let's stop saying ati mahindi it's intoxins, whereas the strategy is kuleta mahindi binafsi, unaleta hapa kwa nchi, unajitengeneza wewe mwenyewe, lakini unafinya yule mkulima ako pale Murang'a, ako pale Kisumu, hawezi pata return on investment. Kwa hivyo let us try to promote what we have locally, because this is a blessed nation.
And protect the 3 Kenyan lives who die because of snake bites.
Ruth, in 1 minute, story ya nyoka.
Story ya nyoka ninasema for our government, Agano Party, we cannot deal with snakes surely. Tutafunga kwa compound ama ni kuku tutaweka surely. Ndio tupate mayai. Then again, how much do we have to wait for this venom itoshe ndio Wakenya waweze kupata medication, whereas we are going to start probably, if at all they get the chance to lead from 10th, tutaanza kurea from 10th ama tuko na za kutosha Kenya. What business do we have putting in snakes here?
Ruth, utafuga nyoka?
I think for Agano Party, our governance, we leave the snakes to the zoo. Tunakuja kuziona, tunaziangalia, tunasoma. That's good for us.
Haikosi our experts. We'll work with KWS. But the fact is, we have amplified the voice that this is an alternative income-generating activity.
Una la kuongeza kabla tu?
Naona KWS wako na kazi mingi ahead of their government. Ya fisi na ya nyoka. For us, we are safe again. We leave them in the zoo.
They were expecting, the law is there, the Wildlife Conservation Act 2013.
Those were just my remarks.
Yeah.
Naam, tuingie katika mada yetu ya mwisho katika mjadala huu wa leo, ambayo inahusu kinyang'anyiro hiki ambapo kipo, namna siasa zinavyoendeshwa. Kwa mtazamo wako Bi Ruth, katika muda wa dakika 2, unapoangalia jinsi kampeni zinavyoendeshwa, jinsi uongozi unavyoendeshwa humo nchini Kenya, kama mgeni katika ulingo wa siasa na katika masuala hayo yote, ni kipi ambacho unaona kinastahili kubadilishwa katika namna tunavyojiendesha?
I would say that I have been a leader. One, I will not call myself a new politician in this field. I have been a leader from the time I was a young girl. And I almost actually got into the Nairobi gubernatorial in January 2021, a governor with David Mwaure. Lakini Kenyans and Nairobians know what happened. Hiyo maneno ilisimamishwa. So what I would bring in different is to ensure that we get rid of this PR. Tumedanganya wa Kenya for too long. People have been asking hauna experience, but if the cost of experience is what has happened over the years, I'd rather come in as the new option. Mtu le amebadilika, mtu ako trustworthy, mtu ako na nafasi ya kubadilisha maisha ya Wakenya, kushughulikia wanawake, kupa wanawake sauti, even the youth. Wanarika pale nje wametengeneza jobless corners. But tunasema tunahitaji experience. No, I refuse what the stereotypes are talking about. Ninasema sisi tunakuja kuleta mabadiliko. Amkeni wa Kenya. Tunakuja kuleta mabadiliko na uongozi mpya katika hii nchi.
Ni baadhi ya mabadiliko kama yapi ambao unapendekeza, Ruth? Kwa sababu unasema kuleta mabadiliko. Mabadiliko yapi? What should change?
Corruption. Francis, corruption is big on us. You know, we cannot be able to change agriculture without curbing corruption. We cannot deal with sports. Look at what happened to Ferdinand. The corruption imefanya hii maneno ifanyike. He's a champion. He's going to represent a country. Lakini kuna wale wanatangulia kabla yeye. The person who is supposed to be bringing glory back to us is the person who is last. Is given last priority. Kwa hivyo haya mabadiliko sisi, ndiposa tunaegemea upande wa corruption, because it is a cancer in this country, and we need to get rid of it.
Let me give you some 60 more seconds. Haya mabadiliko unayozungumza, how will it affect health? How will it affect the young people who have no jobs? How will it affect infrastructure development na mambo kama hayo?
Tukipambana na corruption, tutakuwa na operational capital. Remember, we'll be able to create jobs for the youth. Kuna wale wamefanya degree, 2,000 of them probably after every year wana graduate. Hawana makazi. Wakienda kutafuta kazi, they're being asked for 3 years experience. It is not bought over a shelf. Tunataka kupatia the graduates nafasi waweze tunapatia graduates nafasi kuweza kuingia kwa makazi with a minimal experience with a minimal experience, which means tunaweka mikakati ya kuweza kuwapatia nafasi kuingia immediately after graduation. There's a graduation program. Na watu kama wa informal sector, tunamsha the industries that have been dead. During COVID, we got to learn that we can make masks we can make locally masks. Kwa nini bado basi tunazileta? To employ wanarika walipo hapa ndani waweze kutengeneza mask. You can imagine we're even importing toothpicks. Situpatie wanarika in the informal sector nafasi waweze kujijenga pia.
Bi Ruth, katika kauli yako ya kumaliza una muda wa dakika 2, ni kipi ambacho mtakifanya tofauti na utawala ambao upo sasa katika kauli yako ya kufunga?
Wakenya tunaleta transparency. Wakenya tunaleta uongozi mpya. Tunakuwa, we are the new broom. We are the people who are coming to clean up the corruption. We are people who are coming to stabilize the economy. We are concerned about our youth. We are concerned about the women plight, just as like the disabled, the people with disability. So give us the chance to take care of you. You are our bosses. It's paramount to know that you are our bosses. You are not the subject. So give us the vote, and we shall bring in the change that we have been talking about.